again, guys, and welcome back to My English Brain. Today, we're talking about comparative adjectives. Alright, let's get started. This is Daryl. He is trying to sell you a car. You can't decide between the big silver truck or the small red compact car. Daryl is helping you compare them. Let's listen to the conversation.
Hello there, sir. Are you interested in these cars here?
Yeah, I am. But I can't decide which one is better.
Well, they're both fine cars. Let me tell you a little about them.
Okay, sure.
The truck is bigger than the compact car.
Yeah. I can see that the compact car is much smaller. Thanks.
The truck is also a little more expensive.
Yeah, I can see that too on the window. The compact car is a lot cheaper.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah. Which car is more economical?
That's a good question. I imagine the compact car is, but if you ask me, I prefer the truck. Just look at this thing. It's much more beautiful than the compact car.
I don't care which one is prettier.
Alright, but the truck is very fast. It's a lot faster than that little old car.
I prefer slower cars, actually. I don't drive very fast.
The truck is more fun, too. You can take it to the mountains. The compact car is more boring. It's only for the city.
I can't go to the mountains. They make my allergies worse.
I would take the truck. It's newer and more exciting than the other one.
I don't care if the compact car is older. I like it more because it's smaller and cheaper.
Okay, have it your way. To each their own, I guess. Let's go to the office and start the paperwork.
Yes, please. Lead the way.
Okay, now it's time for the grammar. And today we are talking about adjectives. Remember, adjectives describe things. For example, this car is big. Big is a normal adjective to describe the car. When we are comparing two things, for example, car number 1 and car number 2, we use comparative adjectives. For example, this car is bigger than this car. Bigger is a comparative adjective. It's comparing this car and this car. Another example, the truck is expensive. Again, this is a normal adjective to describe the truck. But when we are comparing two things, again, we use the comparison adjective, and we say the truck is more expensive than the car. Again, more expensive is the comparative adjective. So, we have two forms of the comparative adjectives. When we have an adjective with one syllable, we put er on the end of the adjective to make the comparison. For example, big, big, big. Big is one syllable. So we put er on the end of the adjective, and now we have the comparative adjective, bigger, bigger. But when we have two or more syllables, for example, expensive, expensive, we have three syllables. So we use the word more to make the adjective a comparative adjective, and the comparison is more expensive. Now, we have an exception, and the exception is with adjectives like this one, pretty. Pretty. Pretty has 2 syllables, but it also has a Y ending. It ends with Y. And with all adjectives that finish or end in Y, we take away the Y and we add I-E-R. I-E-R on the end to make the comparative. So, the comparative adjective is prettier. Prettier. Remember, for 1 syllable, we use the adjective and ER, bigger, but for Y ending adjectives, we use IER. For example, prettier, the comparative with a Y ending. To review, remember, with the comparative adjectives, 1 syllable or Y ending, we use ER or IER. For example, bigger and prettier. With 2 or more syllables, we use more and the adjective. For example, more expensive. So, let's practice. The adjective small, 1 syllable, so the comparative adjective is smaller. Smaller. Or the adjective boring. Boring. It has 2 syllables, boring. So, the comparative adjective is more boring. Or this one, lazy. Lazy. Well, we have the Y ending. So the comparative adjective is lazier. We take away the Y and we use I-E-R. Lazier is the comparative adjective. Or one more. For example, exciting. Exciting. Exciting has 3 syllables. So the comparative adjective is more exciting. Now, we have some comparative adjectives that are irregulars. For example, some important ones are good, bad, and fun. These are all 1 syllable, good, bad, fun. But we do not use ER for these comparative adjectives. No. For good, the irregular comparative adjective is better. The comparative is better. Better. The comparative for bad is worse. Worse. And the comparative for fun, we say more fun. So remember these irregulars. Better, worse, and more fun. The other important part to know about comparatives is with less, the opposite of more. For example, the car is less expensive than the truck, and this means that the truck is more expensive than the car. So you can use less to compare when something is less of an adjective. For example, the car is less expensive than the truck. Another important thing to think about for the comparatives is the word than. Than. For example, the car is smaller than the truck. We use the word than when we talk about one thing compared to another thing. For example, the car is smaller than the truck. But if we only use one thing, for example, the car is smaller, then we do not need to use the word than. Than is only when we talk about one thing and compare it to the other thing. Very good. Now it's time to practice. Rex is fat, and Titi is skinny or thin. So, comparing Rex and Titi, Rex is fatter than Titi. Rex is fatter than Titi. Or, Titi is skinnier than Rex. Titi is skinnier than Rex. Or, Titi is thinner. Titi is thinner. Einstein is intelligent or smart, and Homer is, well, stupid. So, comparing Einstein and Homer, Einstein is more intelligent than Homer. Einstein is more intelligent than Homer. Or, Homer is more stupid than Einstein. Homer is more stupid than Einstein. Or, Einstein is smarter. Einstein is smarter. Very good. Problem number 1 is easy, but problem number 2 is difficult or hard. So, comparing problem number 1 and problem number 2, number 1 is easier than number 2. Number 1 is easier than number 2. Or, number 2 is more difficult than number 1. Number 2 is more difficult than number 1. Or, number 2 is harder. Number 2 is harder. Very good, guys. Okay, guys, that's it for today's lesson. And thanks for coming to My English Brain. If you liked today's lesson, share it with friends, family, and classmates. For more videos, subscribe to the channel. And for more practice, go to the website, myenglishbrain.com. Don't forget, guys, the next video, spelling. Spelling final endings. Alright, guys, thanks for coming, and good luck.